Hey, Cindy, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Great.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we can.
Hi there.
Hi.
I much prefer that 50-degree weather.
Oh, yeah, that was, this
Unseasonable.
has been a roller coaster.
I'm glad nothing really happened this week, though. I didn't hear.
Oh, I was talking to Chris and there wasn't a lot of damage in this city.
That's good.
I was surprised. I think we got lucky. Hmm?
Okay.
Okay.
See what's going on? See what the plan looks like. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Sam and I are I guess I didn't talk to him today, so. Talk to him.
I got enough.
Oh, okay. Steve's not gonna be here. March and April? Okay. Great. Very good. Oh, you go down, do you have a?
We used to.
So now where you rent? It's getting crowded down there. Yeah. Really? Where is it? Or where are you taking to? Yeah, wish we had the governor down there bringing him up here. I'd love to live down there right now.
Yeah. We were residents.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, that now
Yeah.
belongs to.
And then just have a home up here or a cabin up here.
I guess that is, I know.
Whereabouts in Tampa, people, we started it when we bought the prior lake.
Yeah.
That's it? I was always.
That's the one thing. You almost have to have someone check it quite.
Yeah. No, I don't get that. Well, you did just go back. And that.
Seems like everyone's going down there right now, too.
Well, it's freer.
A lot.
But it's getting crowded. You know, there's a lot of people.
Crazy down
Yeah.
She's down there. I've got this people on the West Coast. They'll come up here and deal. It's like, it's a small price to pay for 9 months of
Right.
amazing and space.
And you get used to it.
Yeah. You just hunker down for a few months.
And it makes you appreciate spring a little more and fall. I had to live in Dallas for 10 years and it was either really hot or warm. And there's no seasons. The trees don't change colors. They just turn brown and, you know, they fall in late
Oh, they do
November.
fall. Okay.
They do fall,
Okay.
some of them. Some of them have leaves year round,
Yeah, I was always wondering.
but they're never colorful. They're just brown and they fall off. And 2 months later, they're up again and the grass is green again. And
It's time to.
oh, is it time? Okay. I have 6 o'clock. If we could all stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you, everyone. I'm going to call the December 16th, 2021 City of Credit River Planning Commission meeting to order. All commissioners should have a copy of tonight's agenda. Does any commissioner want to add to or amend anything on tonight's agenda? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Amy moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Abe second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion to approve tonight's agenda is carried, and I should have said aye too, Joe. The next thing on the agenda is consent agenda. Those items on the Planning Commission agenda which are considered routine or non-controversial are included as part of the consent agenda. Unless a Planning Commission member specifically requests that an item on the consent agenda be removed and considered separately, items on the consent agenda are considered under one motion, second, and vote. Any item removed from the consent agenda shall be placed at the end of general business. So tonight we have the Planning Commission minutes from November 18th. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Mark, we have Mark moved. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Amy seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion to approve tonight's consent agenda is carried. We have one public hearing tonight. It's related to the Flieger First Edition preliminary plat. Before I open up the public hearing, if we could get Cindy Nash, our city planner, to present the project to the commissioners and the residents that are here tonight. Cindy?
Thank you, commissioners. This plat is a relatively simple 3-lot plat. There is already one existing home on the site. It's located on the southern portion of the site, and they have enough acreage that they would be able to meet the requirements in order to split that into 2 additional lots. This is a plat rather than sort of an administrative lot split with a meets and bounds addition or description, because in our ordinance, you have to have a platted lot in order to build a home. Scott County Septic has reviewed and approved the septic sites shown on the plan. We have some very minimal staff comments that are reflected in the city engineer's memorandum. The main one of those comments that is maybe a little larger is the stormwater management comment. But I do want to stress that while a stormwater management plan is required, we actually don't think in this case it will result in very much. So we're comfortable with recommending approval of the preliminary plat at this point and having that stormwater management plan follow. We'd just like to have that done before we put this on a city council agenda. And the site received access from Nevada Avenue, which was recently reconstructed. And so we're recommending approval. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy. Before I open up the questions from the commissioners, is the owner or the developer would like to speak tonight? Could you, if you could you step up to the podium and just state your name and address? That'd be great.
My name is Mark Flieger. I live at 20606 Nevada Avenue, and we're the house on the south end there.
Okay. Floor is yours, Mark.
I'm here mainly to listen. I've been working, the Stonebrook Engineering, Aaron and Chris have been communicating, and Stonebrook kind of taken the ball and they're kind of doing everything. I have a copy of what we're going through tonight, but I really, at this point, I don't have any questions.
Okay.
Specifically.
Okay, very good. All right, thanks.
So I'm just going to kind of watch, and
Sure.
if anything comes up, I may be able to shed some light or.
Wonderful. We may have some questions after we have some discussion. We'll bring you
Okay,
back
you
up.
want me to go ahead and sit down?
Okay, great. Thank you, Mark.
Yep.
We'll now open up the public hearing. This is the time for residents to provide comments pertaining to this project. We did have one written comment that was submitted to the commission on December 14th from Ted Kowalski, who is the developer of the Schulte Farm to the immediate north of the proposed preliminary plat. And Ted basically stated that he was in favor of this project and he believes it would fit in well with the area. So that was the one written comment we have. Are there any residents here tonight that would like to stand up and comment on this proposed project? Okay, we don't have any, so I'm going to close can I get a motion to close tonight's public hearing? Abe, I have a move by Abe. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Amy, second. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion to close tonight's public hearing is carried. Okay, does any of the planning commission members have any questions, comments, concerns they want to ask Cindy, or Mark is willing to answer any questions that you have as well?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Cindy and Mark, both perhaps. Was Mark given the recommendations, the 16-point recommendation from our staff prior to the meeting? So he's aware of them?
Are you talking the conditions in the resolution?
Yes,
In the
I'm
staff
sorry,
report?
Cindy, yes.
Yep, we did send those over. I'll just note that all of those conditions, you guys probably haven't really seen them yet, but those conditions are all standard conditions. There's nothing unusual in there at all.
So Mark, have you seen them?
Yes, Cindy, I have a copy of that you sent and has these 16 items. And I've looked at them and it's, like I said, I'm kind of deferring to Stonebrook Engineering because I don't understand some of the stuff, but he does and Cindy does, and it'll get done.
And
Whatever we have to do to.
Right, they're pretty standard.
Yeah,
And
yes.
Okay. Thanks, Mark.
You bet.
Thanks, Cindy.
I didn't really have any questions. I had a few generic ones to Cindy that she already answered for me. So anyone else?
No, I think Cindy covered a lot of what I was wondering about in the presentation. This feels like it's fairly straightforward.
Right, no variances.
No variances attached.
So
The only questions I have is, what's the acreage gonna be on those two?
2.5.
2.5?
Yeah, we lost a little bit to conform to the 2.5 acre.
Okay.
Requirement.
any others? Okay, hearing no other questions or concerns by the planning commission members, can I get a motion to recommend to the city council to approve the Flieger First Edition preliminary plat, subject to the developer addressing the items in the staff memo?
Would we also want to say subject to attorney review? Is that necessary?
That's not necessary here, but if you could add subject to the conditions recommended in the staff report as well.
I would make a motion to recommend approval, subject to the conditions outlined in the staff report being met.
Great. So we have a motion by Amy. Do I have a second?
We'll second.
Mark seconds. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Hearing none, motion to recommend to the city council to approve the Flieger First Edition preliminary plat, subject to the developer addressing the items in the staff memo and subject to, I can't read my own writing,
The 16
the 16 recommendations in the staff report, staff memo. I guess it's carried then. Okay, we're good. The last item we don't have any general business tonight, so because of that, I think I need a motion to adjourn tonight's planning commission meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Abe has made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Abe, by Mark, all in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion to adjourn tonight's meeting is carried. Just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and drive safe during the next